even with the Tampa Bay Rays, where just like that, Sam Cohen, the Rays panic has begun. It has begun. And it's gone in ways that I did not foresee. Now, I was not optimistic heading into the season, and I thought it would be – actually, I thought it would be a poor season. They've been way better than I expected. But even with low expectations for the entire club, I'm surprised by some of the way that some people are jumping off ship, not just with the team, but with certain players. We'll get into that today. Obviously, the Buccaneers mandatory minicamp beginning yesterday. We will talk about that today as well. Some interesting comments from Baker Mayfield. We'll talk about something that he talked about that I've been talking about for a while now, and also something he talked about that I wish we would almost stop talking about, even though for a lot of people it's a very relevant topic. For me, it's kind of a non-topic, to be honest with you. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But the Rays panic after a 1-0 loss to the LA Dodgers last night, in which Drew Rasmussen was who he is, Mr. C, Mr. Consistency. He was fantastic last night, unfortunately, in a loss because the Rays couldn't get the bats going at all. And credit where it's due, right? Yes, the Rays could not get the bats going at all. 3 base hits on the night. But also, again, credit where it's due. Justin Wrobleski is a kid with a sub-3 ERA, and he's now 8-2 after the victory last night. So the Rays didn't just suck, right? This kid did a hell of a job on the mound as well. But the Rays lose 1-0. The Dodgers get their 1 run on the bat of the greatest baseball player I've ever seen, Shohei Ohtani, who, by the way, 3-10 today, the Rays try to avoid the sweep as they did against the Angels, and Shohei Ohtani will go from being the guy that hit a monster home run to win the game last night to the starting pitcher today against our Shane McClanahan. So, very interesting. The guy that hits the game-winning home run will be the starting pitcher today. And you might want to know that later in the show. I'm just saying.
I've realized, Pat, that maybe a little bit when we had Ryan Pepio in on Monday, that famous athletes and athletes in general are just guys and gals just like the rest of us.
You just came to that conclusion?
Well, it really hit me last night when Shohei hit that bomb. As soon as he hit it, you knew it was gone. I mean, it was so loud. And a lot of times you'll see pitchers kind of just like put their head down or look at the catcher and be like, okay, new ball. Even Drew Rasmussen was like watching. He was like, all right, let's see how far it goes.
Yeah.
And you just watched him just kind of sit there like, holy moly.
Yeah. Well, it has led, as I mentioned a moment ago, it has led, Sam, to full-fledged panic. Full-fledged panic for some Rays fans. And it's funny because I mentioned that I started the year kind of pessimistically about this club, and you might think that I'd use this moment to be like, oh, I told you they weren't going to be that good. Now they're coming back to earth. I actually don't feel that way. Rough stretch without a question, without a doubt. And you hope that they can salvage one game today and leave the road trip 2-4 and come back home for a big 10-game homestand. But I'm not ready to push the panic button like many of you seem to be. We might need to reach out to our old friend, Kelly Nash. Sam, do you remember Kelly Nash?
I do not.
I don't know if I can believe your persistence anymore about being the biggest Rays fan ever. If you don't remember Kelly Nash. You don't remember Kelly Nash?
And I feel like maybe did she work on the TV side?
You're right. I was really hoping that you had no recollection of Kelly Nash, and I was going to start being like, he played a little right field.
No,
lefty guy.
That's
like I was
why
going
at first I thought you were going to talk about some famous quote or something that one of the guys said, and I was like, Kelly Nash does not even remotely ring a bell. And then I was sitting here. I don't remember when she was on TV, though.
Kelly Nash was the Ryan Bass before Ryan Bass was before Trisha Whitaker. I think there's been a couple since Kelly Nash. But Kelly was great. When Aaron and I were doing Saturdays, one weekend I was on this rant about don't push the panic button. It's going to be okay. The Rays are going to be okay. Don't push the panic button. And this is back when we first started, Sam. As a matter of fact, it was Aaron running my board. That's how early it was. And so Kelly Nash called in, and she's like, can I come on the air with you guys? And Aaron's like, let me ask Pat. And he asked me, and I'm like, we let any idiot who calls the radio station on the air, they let us two idiots on the air. Like, yeah, of course Kelly Nash can come on the show. And so we ended up doing that. She jumped on to join us and saying, don't hit the panic button. And we ended up like on the air having her cut a promo where she was like, this is Kelly Nash, and Pat Donovan and I say, step back from the panic button or something like that. It was very funny. She was great, though. But we might have to get her back on to tell you to step away from the panic button because it's gotten there, Sam Cohen. It came in this morning on the text line. We get a text during the game last night from Greg V, who said, what the hell is going on? Ridiculous routine fly ball. And if you saw the game last night, there was a little fly ball to the left where Junior was going back for it and Vlade was coming in for it. And to me, Junior just needs to get out of the way in that situation. But it basically fell between them because they weren't sure who was going to basically get that baseball. That can't happen. But by the end of the game, Greg also texted in and again, this is when nobody's here other than whoever's producing the Rays game, who I promise you is not reading this stuff. But I always find it funny. We get a bunch of texts at night sometimes from even when there's not games going on. But later on, he's like, the Rays are in deep crap with Yandy slumping, which isn't necessarily untrue. They do need Yandy on track, this team, to be really good. But then by the end of the game, he, like a lot of you, and I've seen you out there, full-fledged panic. They are done, just like last year, except they stayed until June last year. 1-5 road trip. They're probably going to get shut out tomorrow again. And then I saw on Twitter, our friend Craig from Vegas, who's been a listener for years, Craig was saying, basically, this team's done. He said they'll be out of wild card contention by July 1st. It's 2 weeks from now. They'll be out of wild card 2 weeks from now. Everybody, settle down. Step back away from the panic button. The Rays, listen, not a good stretch, and they absolutely need to take advantage of this 10-game homestand in front of them. But I do not believe it is time to panic just yet. Not just yet.